If I had to summarize our work in the fewest words possible, it would be welcoming, walkable, inclusive. That's what we set out to do 6 years ago, and that's what we've delivered on in Metuchen.
We moved here because it seemed like a really great environment to raise a kid in. Great public school, something smaller, something near a train, and Metuchen just kept coming up to the top of the list.
Everybody wants to be part of something that has a story, and I think Metuchen affords you that.
We were made by the railroad because people could work in New York City and live here. It really was the place to be in its time, and fairly, it's the place to be today. The more recent history of Metuchen is, especially in the last 30 years, is it really had a dip. Businesses were like revolving doors. You know, they'd open and they'd close and no one knew what to do about it. So what happened is two members of the Borough Council, Allison and Sarah and Jay Muldoon, came together and said, look, what can we do here?
And the more that we learned about Main Street and the 4 points approach, he said, you know, that's what we need to do.
One of the reasons why Metuchen has been so successful is that they have a strategic plan that they use very closely to help guide their actions and where they're going to focus their resources.
So we're going to build downtown housing by our train station, and we're going to also set up a Main Street program. But they said Main Street wasn't enough. We need a Main Street program and also stable funding. So they established what we call a SID, a Special Improvement District. And with that stable funding, but also the passion of the volunteers and the Main Street approach, that was the formula for revitalizing the town. And sure enough, we've seen over 387 apartments, $170 million of investment, and 150 business starts in the last 6 years.
You could almost get emotional thinking about the work that these people put into this town. There are many volunteers that put these events together, that work with the businesses to ensure their success. These things don't just happen. They happen because people are so dedicated to this place.
We want to be able to have access to programming that folks would not otherwise get a chance to see for free. Whether it be wrestling, big movie nights, step dancers, Lunar New Year dragon dancing, all of those things help people to kind of see and get access to things as a third place.
During the pandemic, without the MDA, I can't imagine. We hardly lost any businesses, and we had businesses opening towards the latter part of the pandemic, so it's remarkable.
During the pandemic, 75% of the businesses that have opened have been minority and women-owned. I'm also proud that over 60% of the grants that we've given out have gone to women and minority-owned businesses.
My business, Creative Twist, is all about events. Without the MDA's like grants and help and just even ideas, you know, and support, there's no way we could have done it.
They've worked very hard at creating an atmosphere where all different kinds of businesses can feel welcome and feel like it's a possibility to open and be successful here.
When you come here, you see that, hey, this is an area where there's equity, where there's room for a lot of different people to participate, and they have the tools to even thrive.
We really wanted to make sure that we took steps, aggressive steps, to help ensure the survival of these businesses.
We had restaurants cooking meals that were then delivered to people in need. So without the MDA, that wouldn't have happened.
And basically the way it works is we match up existing restaurants with people who may be living in a shelter or other places where they have need, and we deliver those meals every week. And really the heart of the program is this, you know, with food comes dignity, and when we can extend that to the people who need it the most, while also helping our businesses stay open and remain in town, you know, that's the kind of win-win opportunity you don't get often in life. It used to be a business opened, you know, maybe it found its customers in its market, maybe it didn't, and then it closed 6 months later. But with the MDA and use of the Main Street approach, we were able to get what the businesses needed, when they needed it, where they needed it, so they could be successful. And that's what's made Metuchen stand out from just about every place else.